Hey, Geezer, Bruce, Christopher, how you doing? Um, Let me ask you guys, or how it's coming out. Hey, Stephen, how's the sound? The sound okay, guys? Hey, Bruce. Hey, Redskins. How's the sound? Sound okay? Hi, Mark. Can you guys hear me all right? Hello? Ah, thank you. Hey, okay, good. I, I I always check on it because I'm never sure. Um, Great. I guess there's some. Hi, Clyde. How you doing, man? Javier. Little. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm pixelated. Um. Hey, as I said, how's Austria? Chris. Okay. Video was a little blurry. Uh, Let me see. I wonder what it could be. Let me check something here. That's okay. Well, it's probably something to do with the bandwidth. I'm not never sure what it is. Um, Quarters eye. All right, a little blurry, pixelated. All right. Okay. Uh, just checking with everything. Um, the camera's beret setting. Um, Anyhow, what I want to talk about, a couple things going on. First of all, there was some of you were there, I think, and this was on Monday evening. There was a presentation by the Horological Society of New York, and F.P. Jorn was he and a guy he goes by the name of the Jorn guy. He's a big FP Jorn fan. This guy from Canada. His name is Osama's Sendi, and really a cool guy. And had a great little talk. And then FP Jorn talked, and he'd say something in French, and then his the guy who was the head of FP Jorn in New York, not in New York, in the U.S. Would then interpret for him. you know, and anyway, that was sort of fun. And the what they talked about was really the phenomena of resonance, and that was really interesting. This is my resonance, chronomet resonance, all resonance, and the thing about it is that there, I guess there aren't a whole lot of them. When I got mine, it was I I don't know, a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, and the there were a lot of them available, or still are, but they were relatively reasonably priced. Something else that I found out about is that they cut back on the production of the Chronomet Blue. That is their extremely popular um, Chronomet, and that was cut back because I'm not sure why. I guess they just couldn't get enough out. They quit taking. First, they had like a 6 months waiting list, then it was 6 years, and now they just cut it out altogether. Um, so so much for the Chronomet. Take a look at the Chronomet surveying. All right. So they had the meeting there. One of the interesting things that came up was that the Horological Society of New York was, I don't know how old it is. It's I don't know, 60 years old or so. And they said that this was the largest meeting they had since the 1950s. And they said in the 1950s, the meetings, they had about 500 people who were there, and they were all watchmakers. All right. Um, what we had, which was their largest modern meeting, there were 200 people there. The tickets went whoop out really quickly. And so anyhow, I was able to get to talk to him and so forth. One of and he didn't speak a word of English, and I can't hear a word of French, so it worked out pretty well. What I did was sort of funny. I discovered something. The uh, My particular watch was from 2002, and in 2005 they decided to put in gold uh, plates and bridges on the back. Now, I don't know how you can see this. If we have a blurry one, it'll be hard to see. But this one is brass. And one of the things that I was concerned about was that I was looking at some pictures of the backs of the chronomet resonance, and they had all of this little engraving and writing and different kinds of things. The name of the caliber, the few other things like that, little stuff on there. And mine was perfectly blank. There was nothing on there. And so I walked up to Jordan and I handed him my watch and I said, is everything okay with this? So he starts looking at it like this and, looks really funny. And then out of his pocket, he pulls out a loop and looks at it. He says, "Oh, that's a very nice one." I thought he was going to say it's a fake, but fortunately, it's not. And anyway, that was nice. It was sort of a fun experience for that. It's anyway. It's an interesting kind of thing. So anyway, okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the whole process of some of these watches. I mean, they become so rare that it's hard to find people who you can talk with about it. In other words, if you got a watch that not everybody has or is not interested in, now for example, my semi obsession with the excuse me, Cellini Rolex Prince. Boy, oh boy, who am I going to talk to about that? Not a lot of people have them, so it's one of the things. That's what I wanted to ask about. What are some of the kinds of kinds of watches that you might have that are that not many people have? In other words, what are some watches that are you sort of, if you get one, you're the only guy with one, or very few people have them, and they could care less about them. I keep thinking of the Prince when I say that. Do you have any watches like that? Let's see. Geneva International Motor Show has been canceled due to the corona. Yeah, just about all of the major shows in Switzerland have been canceled. But I tell you, this is one of the things I was concerned about. That, like I said, here we are at this record-setting meeting in terms of the number of people who were there. It was there. Everybody showed up. It was great. People actually, shook hands without surgical gloves on. So that worked out all right. And then tomorrow, I'm going back to New York and meet Eduard Milan, who's the head guy at H. Moser. Two of my favorite watch companies, FP Journe and H. Moser. And anyway, Clyde, is there any question that you have that you'd like me to ask about your watch? Ooh, uh, oh, Fred has a harboring for 5K. Yeah, that's the that's about that used to be their list price, so still a good deal. I'm getting a limited send chronograph soon. That would be a heck of a watch. Tippy, I'm not sure if it's the one you're getting. Is the one with the what is it? The UWD 33.1 movement by Lang and Heim. Now, if that would be one, that would certainly be one. How you doing, Williams Watches? Stephen Johnson, virus is going to bring down the watch price. I don't know what is going to happen. I have no idea. Okay, so what are some new things that you guys that have been up that you think are important that we could sort of what's going on? Okay, Mark, I'll ask him. I mean, listen, Mark, you can get great discounts still on H. Moser watches. These things are, the trouble is that someone says, "Oh boy, I got one at half price, and I paid 15,000 for it." I mean, it's like, yeah, that's half price, but it's still a lot. Let's see, from the Texas Autobahn. Hey, Captain Zed. All right, stickers. All right, let's see what's going on. Geneva Internet. Yeah, all of those things been going on. What else is going on for you guys? Carlos, what is your wife's favorite watch? Boy, that's a good question, Carlos. I think it's her Beauvais. But it's sort of like asking about favorite children. The Beauvais, but the other one she likes a lot is the Dunhill, the one I got with the movement, the Jacquet 736 movement. That's part of my 736 collection. I guess for travel. Excuse me. Okay, everybody, I better wear a mask. I guess those are the watches she likes. This is something that was really interesting. You mentioned women's watches. Have you noticed if you go to Chrono 24, and there are a lot of filters on there, and they used to have a gender filter for men or women. They don't anymore. And it comes down to what you do if you want to look for women's watches. You go for some of the smaller case sizes. Like you go down to 36 and 34 and some of those. And those are the things. But, that can be for anybody. So they cut that out, I guess, and it makes sense. Okay, got me a glycine moon phase, a small one, cheap and nice. Those are nice watches. I hear they canceled Basil World. Yep, they did. I mean, watch that she wears. Those are the watches she wears, Carlos. She's got a Beauvais, a Dunhill, Jaeger LeCoultre, and a Louis Vuitton. That's it. Curious to learn what skills did you use to make her accept your watch hobby. I'm open to any suggestions. I get asked that a lot, Mark. I'll tell you, there's a little blue bag with a little blue box with a white bow on it. That is what they have at Tiffany's stores. Those will go a long way. Check around the Sacramento area for your local Tiffany's. Let's see. Hey, Junior Johnson. I'm reading a novel now, and the guy's name, one of the characters' name is Johnson. So I saw Junior Johnson. I almost came with the wrong one. Have seen Glycine Moon Phase. Yeah, that is a nice watch. All right. So we've got. I'm really curious to see the direction that H. Moser is going to, And from what I've seen, I think they're going to make some more affordable ones. Um, who's going to Cellini to see the Moser guy? I am, John. I'll see you there if you're going to be there. Hope so. A lot of people are going. I think Kaz is going to be there. Mike Margolis is going to be there. Eddie Eddie's going to be there. I don't know. That'll be sort of interesting. You can be there, John. Say hi to me, okay? I don't know what it. A lot of people. I don't know what they look like. They say, "Oh, hi, I'm Captain Buzzsaw. I'm one of your subscribers," and I've got no idea who that is. So introduce yourself. Hey, Flip and Zippo. Let's see what else is going on in the watch world. Let's see. One thing we don't hear a lot about because we don't get too many new ones. There is, with a few exceptions, is that like something really interesting and new in terms of movements. The most interesting movement in the last few years that I've seen has been the one from Agenhor. And that's one of the things I want to see tomorrow at Cellini's is I hope it's going to bring some streamliners with them. Those would be cool to see. My phone is buzzing? Ah, damn. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, well, now they got it as a missed call. Thanks, Geezer. Everybody hears it but me. It was sorry. Doggone it. I have my other phone that has a big loud ring, and this one is supposed to be the quiet one. By the way, too, during the meeting, during during FP Jordan's talk, my phone goes off. It makes some kind of sound, and I'm looking at it. It's like, what are you doing? And the guy next to me grabs my phone and goes, bip, 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 and it's suddenly quiet. I think I was ready to toss it or give it or blame it on the person behind me. Okay, it's quiet now, right? Sorry about that. It's vibrating is okay instead of when I have it on loud. What it does it takes off with what's his name? Some old rock and roll song that's really loud that I can hear. Okay, let's see. All right. Any other news that is? I hear the Rolex people are always talking about some bubble burst. I don't want to talk about that. What I'd like to talk about though is movements. Are there any new movements of totally mechanical, not some gussied up quartz watch? Smart watches, don't want to know about them either. By the way, something sort of interesting happened at that meeting that was interesting. I used to go to these computer meetings, and I'm trying to think of the name of it. They changed it to some stupid name. Well, it was stupid before. It was the initials of this big, long systems programming, yada, yada, yada thing. And you ever go to one of those things, and somebody always gets up, no matter who talks, no matter what, and they decide they're the world's greatest expert on X, Y, or Z, or why you can't do this, or all kinds of weird stuff. If any of you are computer programmers, you may have seen this. No matter if you show anybody your program, they will immediately say, "That's not the way I'd do it." Well, this is what I saw at that meeting with Jordan the other night. All of these guys were getting up like, "Oh, well, you can't do this, or you should have done this." I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Like, they come. It was really weird. The only thing I asked was, how come they changed the faces on this? And that was about it. But most of the questions that reminded me so much of going to the computer meeting, that it was going to solve all the problems that they had. And that was the way I felt in the same kind. There were certain characters that got up and like rah, 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 about something or other. and man, it's like I think they sometimes they have a little information, and then they extrapolate from that, and they get it all wrong. So, anyhow, that was not. I mean, they kept on going. One of the cool things, the guy who was the president of it, and then there's this other guy who was one of the photographers. They both looked like they were members of ZZ Top. They were, it was a pretty cool meeting. Everybody else is all, all the corporate types who were there, all corporate looking, and then the guys running the Horological Society. Anyway, lots of different people. Okay, a Seiko Astrum, me would like. Okay, tell me about a Seiko Astrum. Um, it's not buzzing again. Anything about that? Nothing? Okay. What else is happening in Washington? Now we know about the coronavirus, but from what I've seen so far, it hasn't really affected anything that I've seen in terms of market or anything else. People are still buying watches, and you go to a Facebook page, I saw some guy who bought this beautiful Vacheron Constantin overseas. What was it? I think it may have been a chronograph, or it may have been something else. It was really a nice one. It's brand new. And, you see these things cropping up all the time. There didn't seem to be any more, any less than there's always been. Have you guys seen any changes in that? No? Yes? Nothing much, huh? Okie doke. Well, um, what for those of you who not a new movement, but RGM is doing some interesting things with rebuild Hamilton 921 and 923. Oh, that is interesting. The model 222RR. That is one of his railroad watches. Hey, James. Do you think Rolex will do new releases this year after Baselworld's cancellation? Warren, my hunch is this, is that by the time that Rolex gets to Baselworld, they've already got all of their stuff. They already have, their production set up and everything good to go. But I don't think that the cancellation of a show would be that important. Here's something else too, is that what do they call it? They were starting to call the Baselworld the Rolex show, or Rolex and Patek show, one of the two. But most of the big problem that these big shows were having were people weren't showing up. They had a lot of big companies were dropping out, and so I really wonder how much effect that they had. Now I know that retailers, people who are buying watches for their watch stores and stuff, it gives them an opportunity. But now so much stuff can be done online that I don't know. It's what do you guys think? Ah. Oh, okay. Hey, Christopher, thank you. That does sound interesting. It sounds like the Vacheron Constantin, what is it? Historique American 1921. When I meet the Moser guy, would it be bad for him to ask for 50% off some like gray dealers? Yes. I mean, I would be bad for him. This guy is. Here is the thing. I think that would be important for collectors to ask is that are they thinking of making something that is in a more affordable, for a more affordable market? And that's a difficult kind of question, because there seems to be. Here's a company, they make what, less than 2,000 watches a year, but then they make 25,000 hairsprings for other companies. If there would be some way, maybe it's saying, hey, they are lowering the prices. They have had some new models that are way down. They're like half of what the old ones were, but they're different. You take, for example, the Endeavors. The one I just got was originally, I think, $26,000. And now, if you go and you look at the prices, that their MSRP prices, they have several. I think that they have one down around 11, and that's a lot for them, because they've got to figure out how is this going to be profitable. If you could sell thousands and thousands of watches at $11,000 or 10 or even 7,000, that might be something that they'd be interested in doing. But how do you do that? Okay, let's see. Oh no, you lost the picture. Hi Nino. Exactly, affordable when they make a killer 10K steel sports. They've got one now, I think, that is a killer right around 10K steel sports. It looks like a pilot's watch, really a nice one, and it's called a Heritage something. Oh, Pioneer, that's it. It's their Pioneer Heritage. Take a look at that. It's really nice. Hi Tim. Um, there are a number of watches. See, the thing is that as long as you can get uh, H. Moser's at deep new ones at deep discounts, or ones that are hardly used at those deep discounts, you know, why not? And as collectors, now see that here's the thing, is that and we've heard a lot of it, is that they have all of these issues that are brought up and important to, think better not buzz on me again. The, that are important to us as collectors. Then there's things that are important to the manufacturers. Here's an idea, okay? How about a subscription watch? This is what Breguet did to help. I mean, by the way, too, Abraham Louis Breguet had more financial problems than you could shake a stick at during that time, and this was way before quartz. So anyway, it's something that you could, possibly consider. Let's see. Pioneer Heritage is really nice. That's the one I was thinking about, Tim. That's exactly it. Sports car firms do it by providing financial deals. There's no reason why Moser shouldn't do the same. Pay $5,000 a year, something like that. That is an idea. I think it's a great idea. Pioneer is 3 ATM. That's kind of weak. It's sort of a, I don't know. I wouldn't go jumping in a lake or anything with any of these watches anyway. If I owned a Rolex Submariner, I wouldn't go in the water with it. Period. So it's one of those things. Okay, let's see. Kind of weak. I don't know. I don't think so. It's sort of a dress watch. Yeah, it is. It's sort of a sporty dress, but when you take a look at the uh, Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, what is that? I mean, you know, they are the Vacheron Constantin overseas. These watches are not sporty sports; they're sort of indoor sports. Let's see. Okay. Boy, you guys. By the way, too, I couldn't tell you the ATM of any one of my watches, because I don't. If I I went few years ago, a couple of years ago, we went on vacation, and I was doing some body surfing, and I wouldn't wear a watch into that. I don't care what kind it was. Even my Seiko 5, I wouldn't wear it. All right. Well, listen, I hope to have a very detailed video on Friday about resonance and to truly trying to demonstrate it. And I was able to get some slow motion shots and doing some other things with it that I hope you'll like. And I'm always looking for good deals. I did that little video and I got a lot of reaction for that. So let me ask you guys, coming out with those little vest pocket videos and having some things that I found that are pretty good buys. You like those or not, or what do you think of those? Nothing. Okay. Um, oh, let me see what else. Like those VP. VP, I'm not sure what you mean, John. Um, oh yeah, VP, the vest pocket. Right. Gotcha, John. Let's see where you find deals. Okay. Hey, Francek. Um, Okie doke. All right. Okay. If you like those, I'll do some more of those. Because it's hard not to come across some really good buys. It's really easy to come across a lot of cheap watches that I wouldn't really be too interested in having. But it's always fun to see if you can find some diamonds in the coal mine, so to speak. And so I'll keep doing those kinds of things. All right. Well, listen, I will take my blurry self and head go now. Where's my time is up. So I will be giving a report on what we find out at Cellini's tomorrow. I hope a lot of you other guys, John, I hope you can contribute to that too. And hasta la vista.